I'm a little bit of a seed collector, and this is most of my current collection. But over the years, I've tried to grow a lot of different things, and I have some suggestions of things that I love and some things that don't work for me. They might work in other climates. But this is going to be part one of a series of things that I would suggest growing because I think they're awesome. And today I'm going to share 3 seeds and their specific varieties. And actually today, every variety is from this company, Baker Creek Seeds. I grow greens, I grow fruits, vegetables, flowers, all the different things. And that will be shown in just my 3 today. So my first one is actually a green onion. And these are very different than other green onions I've grown in the past because they grow like this long, several feet tall. And they get about this thick, which is pretty darn thick for a green onion. So one of them is like growing an entire bunch, so you don't have to grow as many to get a huge yield, and they still have a really nice taste and texture. Taste like a smaller green onion, well, except a little better. Homegrown things almost always taste better than store-bought things. So love these. They tell you to start them indoors in advance, and I have done that, and I've also not done that. And I agree that that's probably better if you want them to get big enough to get that huge, and if you have freezes like we do here. I mean, they are frost hardy, but if you want them to grow fast and big, you do want to give them that head start. You don't have to. You'll still get green onions. I still got green onions when I didn't start them indoors. They just didn't have as much time to get as big. So love these. They don't bulb, they just green onion. Next is a flower. So one thing you really need to know about sweet peas before you grow them is they are toxic. Do not eat them. Do not let your cats or your kids or your dogs, just don't let anybody eat the seeds, eat the flowers, any of it. But there's a lot of varieties that I think are good. These don't have the longest stems ever. They're the Old Spice mix, but their smell is phenomenal, and most sweet peas I have grown don't have ones that are variegated in it or striped, and these had the biggest array of colors. I don't even see all the colors I grew in here, but there's like a dark burgundy for some of them as well. So I love these because I feel like they have some more unique colors that you don't find in other ones. And as always, sweet peas smell phenomenal. Would recommend. Now on to tomatoes. So I do have some gripes about these tomatoes. They split really easily. So you gotta go out and get them before they split. And if you're overwatering them, they may split before they even ripen. So you gotta not overwater them. You gotta pick them even a day or two before they're ripe or right immediately when they're ripe. Don't wait for them to get any more ripe than that or they will split, which is a bummer. However, that being said, the most unique, best tasting, sweetest tomatoes I've ever had. Sweet and tomato I never really thought went together, but they are incredibly sweet, but still taste like tomatoes, and they are the best tomatoes I have ever put on nachos. They're not very big. They're about this long and probably about that wide when they're full size. At least that's how they are in my climate. And they have these fun stripy pattern to them. So these Prairie Fire are one of my favorites to grow. I'm still trying to figure out what my favorite sauce tomato is, what my favorite slicing tomato is, but these are awesome in nachos and anything like that. And they're good on burgers too, but you have to have a lot of little pieces if you're doing it on a burger, so it's not like one big slice. Anyways, but these 3 I would suggest trying, with the easiest being the green onions, next being the sweet peas, and hardest being tomatoes, because at least in my climate, you always have to start them ahead of time, and you gotta have decent lights and things like that. So, Prairie Fire, Old Spice mix, and ishikura. So I can put the names in the description. Well, yeah, I can put the names in the description if you're looking for them. But it is Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, and if you just type in rareseeds.com, it should bring you to the right place. So these are 3 suggestions from me. So take it or leave it.